Welcome to the podcast. I am Josh. My blue friend, which you can't see is blue, of course, is Daniel.
I am Manio, the delicious Canadian host.
Next, we have the most sane of the group, Keller.
You sure about that?
Uh,
Are you genuinely sure about that?
Have you met any of the rest of us?
True.
Trevor, I would argue that you're the most sane of the group of us.
No,
I
Bullshit.
think you're saying that because you don't know me well enough.
considering what just
Probably.
happened.
Well, yeah, consider what just happened, and
I don't
the most,
know what just happened. What
Exactly. Good.
and possibly the most tolerable man alive, Trevor.
Hello.
He's just tolerable.
All right.
Tolerable.
Since
Not
Keller
tolerable if you want
asked-
to be around me.
Since Keller asked what just happened.
They'll find out anyways. We might as well talk about it.
Yeah, this is
But
this is gonna be interesting.
Oh, is it one of those things?
Well, sort of. So
You just
We
type it on
decided-
the podcast prompt. If you can't
this is
say
not
it.
this is not on there.
We're not gonna get in trouble.
We're not. No, this is. We decided that we wanted to show how tolerant we were of other religions and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Oh, that's what the mosque thing was about.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
we
I
kind
heard
of
mention
built
of
a
a mosque.
mosque.
And then I heard mention of someone else.
Yeah.
And then
We don't need to
immediately
mention.
We
had
wanted
an
to.
idea.
We wanted to teach people to be more tolerable, so we made a mosque.
Mhm.
We made a mosque.
Can we cover it in rainbows?
We could.
We
That's
could.
a
But it's
good
it's
idea.
already kind of covered. It's
We could-
partially,
what?
at least partially covered.
We
It's
could do-
partially covered by a
You'll
map,
see.
like kind of a dog
Mhm.
map kind of a thing.
Here.
We'll show you. We'll
Let's
show it to you
look.
later, Keller.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm?
Moving on.
Okay.
I think nobody wants to hear us talk about a mosque.
No.
So the hot news
Muslims
that dropped.
might.
Muslims, of course, might be interested. Let's move
Yeah,
on
Muslim
now.
cast.
No. All right. So the big news that dropped last week was that
I don't speak
Spider-Man
Arabic.
Spider-Man is now part of the MCU.
Yeah, that was big news.
Big
That,
news.
that just skipped as soon as we did the podcast. last week.
Controversial news in some
We'll
people's
get back
eyes.
to what we were talking about, but yeah, let's start with this. But
So, I do want to point this out. This is, while everyone loves the Marvel cinematic universe, and I don't think they've made a bad movie yet outside of possibly Thor.
And Daredevil.
They didn't do that. That's
War-
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah,
2008
yeah.
and onward.
I would argue
Yeah.
both Thors were bad, honestly.
I
Yeah.
said all three were.
I didn't
Oh,
see
yeah,
the second
both. There's
one.
one. I thought there was three for a second. Yeah,
No.
the second one was. Yeah.
I didn't see the second Thor, and I was not
didn't see
thrilled
it
by the
either.
first
Trust
Thor.
me, not even
which is
Chris
why I didn't see
Eccleston
it.
can save that movie.
I thought it was
No.
good enough.
I
think
I
make it
remember he was in
Avengers.
that.
Yeah. It's pretty boring.
But here's what's controversial about the Spider-Man is that people have come to like Andrew Garfield as
You're
Spider-Man.
goddamn right. We have.
We all do. I think we
Mhm.
all have the same opinion.
He's a good Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not just
Wait.
because I have
The
a giant
scripts
boner
are
for Andrew
terrible.
Garfield, but still, he's just the best one. Like,
It's just the problem with the scripts is really
Yeah.
bad. If he was in Marvel, if it was Marvel writing, he would do really, really well.
Plus, there's been
uh,
2 Peter Parkers. Like, I don't want another one to pop in. It's just kind of like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be 3 within a
Yeah.
decade.
What
I
what
wouldn't
people are
say that
saying.
I hated him, or hated the script rather. It wasn't the worst that I've seen. I don't think either one of them was worse than Spider-Man 3's, but
Oh,
Yeah.
of course not. No,
but
couldn't
other
have
than
been.
that-
That'd be impossible.
I see what you're saying, but like compared to what else has been in the franchise, I don't really think they
I'm
were
a
that
big
bad.
fan of Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I think that's the best one personally.
I think that's the best one.
Yeah, it's tip top of the Spider-Man movies. Even though I don't hate Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2.
do you think that there'll be ever a chance that they'll be like, okay, we could bring back Andrew Garfield?
Oh,
Or do you
well-
think they have their mind set?
The argument though is that if they bring on Andrew Garfield again, it's going to confuse people. That's
It
what
wouldn't, though.
that's what some people are saying.
In what
It-
way?
Well,
It-
this
it'd be-
this is the thing that would confuse it. That if they decided to go reboot,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because they've done
But
this already.
they're not-
Fox did this, or Sony. I think it's Fox did this with X-Men, and they've sort of rebooted it.
Yeah.
Like
But
a
that
cinematic
worked.
retcon, and what's his name? Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine since the beginning of time,
Yeah.
and it works. And I
But-
think that they could do it with
Wait,
Andrew Garfield.
You're saying that X-Men Origins works as a movie?
No, I'm saying that X-Men Origins works, that you believe that it's a different universe, almost.
I never got
and
that impression from it. I see what you're saying,
I feel like
but I
it's
never got that.
It's weird because they have the same villain of Sabretooth in X-Men Origins, played by a different character and kind of written differently. Not quite as campy as they did in X-Men.
Speaking of how
19
shitty
whatever, 2000
X-Men
whatever.
Origins was,
I was gonna say it's not. It's
Deadpool.
less campy, but more shitty.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, less campy.
the
But
Deadpool movie
worse.
that they're
Oh,
making,
yeah.
which Ryan Reynolds tweeted a picture of him with the Deadpool mask, which
It
gave
looks
me a
good.
boner because
good.
Deadpool is my favorite Marvel character.
Didn't give me a boner because Ryan Reynolds' face wasn't there.
Yeah,
his
it
face is in the picture.
His
Oh,
body
with the
was.
mask?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a picture of a mask on like a
table.
a fitting
Oh, okay.
head.
it's a pretty cool picture for
I
people.
haven't actually seen the picture.
I
Let me
will link
clarify.
it. I will link it.
It's a pretty
And,
good picture.
I've
And
heard,
oh, go
I've
ahead,
heard
Shua.
rumors that T.J. Miller is going to be in it as comic relief.
I don't like that.
Wait,
I already don't like
How
it.
is there already comic relief? When
I don't
Deadpool's
know,
in
but
it?
that's what I've heard, that he's going to play a character that's going to be for comic relief. So I
Oh,
guess
God.
more.
Well, if there's a comic relief, it's gonna turn into some.
Deadpool is the
over-
comic relief.
I
overly
know, but
dramatic
that's the
bullshit.
rumor. T.J. Miller's
And from what I've been seeing in terms of the movie and the news and related around it, it's a lot like the leaked script that came out that I read. Because they just
Well-
announced that Colossus might be making an appearance, because he makes an appearance in the script as a person who works alongside Deadpool, a little bit.
Is
Well,
that
here's the thing: is they cut a lot. Or they suggested, they were saying we were going to make this PG-13,
Which they could do pretty well.
No, they couldn't.
Yes, they could.
Um,
I have a way for them how to. I thought of a way how they could do it PG-13 and actually pull it off.
explain?
Okay, explain that.
You know how Deadpool is very well aware that he's in a comic book,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he breaks the fourth wall all the time.
yeah.
And you know how PG-13 movies are allowed one fuck in the entire movie?
Do
Yeah.
you think they're gonna?
You could have him drop the one fuck, and then he goes to say it again, but it's bleeped out, and he's conscious of it being bleeped out, and it confuses him.
That's a great idea.
That is good. But the blood is the other issue.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
But I
Well,
mean,
here's the thing: is that they don't. That's a good idea. That's funny. But I think they're switching it back to rated R because the script writer for it is still the people that wrote the original, who also wrote Zombieland. They're still credited as script writers.
Plus,
or
to be fair,
screenwriters.
Deadpool is a very popular character, and the terms of the fans are all older fans, I'd imagine. There's not a lot of children who like Deadpool. I could be wrong.
it's funny because they did add Deadpool in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV series for I
Yeah.
think for a couple of episodes, and he was self-conscious, and instead of saying dead, he would say unalive
Oh,
Right.
in Deadpool fashion.
But I think no matter what rating they go for, PG-13 or R, they can do it
It'll
well
work.
because Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is just
Gonna
the
work.
perfect choice of
The
Wade
greatest.
Wilson. And
Honestly-
I just linked the picture for you, Keller.
Oh,
He finally found his superhero movie.
Well,
Because
everybody.
he was in Green Lantern.
Well, he
Which-
could've
let's
been
not
a
talk
good
about that
Green
movie.
Lantern.
He
It's
was a
just-
good Green Lantern. Just everything surrounding
yeah, I would
him
agree
was
with that
terrible.
actually. Yeah,
Like-
the script was garbage, but
He's
he's
been
good at it.
he's been attached. Ryan Reynolds confirmed that there wasn't a script for Green Lantern when they started filming.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
What about Deadpool? Ryan Reynolds has been attached to the role of Deadpool ever since X-Men Origins, when he played Wade Wilson and that shitty fucking Deadpool in that movie.
Let's not call him Deadpool.
let's
That's
call
a
him
disservice to Deadpool.
shit. And
Well,
he's
was
been attached
Wade Wilson
since.
in that movie. He's,
Yeah.
what was it, like Project X or something like that?
He was called the Deadpool,
Isn't that the
Yeah.
party movie?
Yeah.
and they and everyone's like, who do you like want as Deadpool? And everyone's like thinking, well, Ryan Reynolds would be great. And I saw people saying like Jim Carrey. It's like no,
Oh,
it has to be Ryan
no.
Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is like the perfect fucking Wade Wilson. And then, the Deadpool test footage got leaked, and it's Ryan Reynolds doing the voice of Deadpool because it's all CG because that's test footage, what
And
you basically
people
do.
didn't believe it was him. Like,
Yeah.
they're just like, who's this guy? He's awesome.
And it's like Ryan Reynolds, and everyone's like, holy fuck, this movie needs to get made. And the reason the Deadpool movie is now getting made is because of the test footage.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's the image of Ryan Reynolds with the actual fucking mask, and it's just making Deadpool fanboys like me just so
I'll be
happy.
honest,
I'm still salivating at the whole Ryan Reynolds thing.
I've
I'm
watched that
sorry.
test footage 5 times. It's so good.
I watched it so much.
Oh yeah, I had it on basically on loop when it first released.
And it's 100% like the script that I read too.
Okay, so here's a question though. If Ryan Reynolds was not, confirmed was not allowed to be Deadpool in this movie, who would you pick to replace him?
I think it would be easy to go Nolan North because they're not going to show his face other than maybe what Deadpool actually is. Just
I know they're obviously probably not gonna have the script 100% now because it's been leaked. But basically what they do in the script is Deadpool becomes who he is because he gets experimented on or some bullshit. I don't remember how he becomes what he is, but he has a normal human-like looking appearance.
That's what they're gonna do. Okay.
And then what ends up happening is he gets experimented on. I can't remember what happens, but he has cancer or some bullshit like that.
In the comic book story, he has cancer, and it just
cancer.
And because of the experiments, it eats his skin.
Yeah, and his skin basically gets all melted away kind of thing, and he looks all disfigured. So he wears the mask and the uniform the entire time. But Ryan Reynolds is the perfect choice. Perfect choice. But I don't know. Nolan North would be interesting because he was the voice of Deadpool in the video game.
He's old. Which is why you don't.
I feel like I'd be more okay with Troy Baker doing it personally.
I've never heard Troy Baker do Deadpool, so that could be interesting.
I haven't heard him do Deadpool, but I know that he has a really, really wide range.
He's a great voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was able to do the Joker.
I wasn't a fan of his Joker, though.
I mean, but that's because it wasn't Mark Hamill.
Because he was going right after.
He
Mark
wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It just
his shoes.
Yeah. However, I think his best voice, Troy Baker's best voice role, is still to this day Joel from The Last of Us.
I was just about to say that. If you said anything but Joel, I was about to bitch you out for it because, oh man, that fucking game. I still think about it. The ending still kind of pops into my head.
Speaking of The Last of Us, The Last of Us it's just what people are thinking because of what they posted on their Facebook page. They posted an image of an older girl, but still young, with another dude. And people are speculating that it could be teased concept art of The Last of Us 2. Personally, I don't think there should be a sequel.
Idea, doing 2 different characters.
No, stop, Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
No, the speculation is that it's a grown-up
Ellie.
Okay.
Like a teenage Ellie, older.
Yeah.
But I don't think the game does. I don't think it needs a sequel. It doesn't need a sequel.
I think
it doesn't need to happen.
And it should just be a one-off game.
No,
maybe
that's my opinion.
Another story set in the same universe will be fine, but not with the characters.
But that's a franchise I don't want to get milked.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we already have a movie confirmed that's coming out, and I still want Maisie Williams as Ellie.
I'd be fascinated to see it, another story in the universe, but in a different part of the world. I'd really be interested in
kind of like a Fallout 3 to Fallout New Vegas situation.
Well, even more than that, just a whole different country. To have a completely different culture on top of it, I think would be really interesting. Because a large part of The Last of Us is its use of American scenery and pre-collapse American culture to kind of fill in the mindsets behind a lot of the people. The story with Bill would not have been as effective as it was without the culture of gay rights and stuff like that being so prevalent at that point in time, and still I guess kind of, but we're winning, so fuck you conservatives. But basically I think I would be interested to see another country's pre-apocalypse culture used to fill out different characters in this universe, because I really like the concept of the universe. I just don't want another story.
Yeah. I just want to play that game again.
You guys want to go back to Spider-Man and talk about who we would like as a Spider-Man?
Miles Morales.
Donald Glover for Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Miles Morales.
I think that's what everyone wants right now. They don't
But
want
it's probably
Peter
not going to
Parker.
happen.
No. Who do you
Because-
want? If it's a Peter Parker, who would you like?
I don't think Donald Glover would do it anymore. Honestly.
Well, I just don't think Miles Morales would happen though, because they even said, people are even like saying like he's not that well known of a character outside of
Oh, but it'd be amazing.
the fan base. So, and you have a lot of people who aren't really huge Spider-Man fans going to see these movies. So if they see a black Spider-Man called Miles Morales, they're gonna be like, who the fuck is that? Where's Peter Parker? So sadly, they have to do Peter Parker as the main Spider-Man, but that doesn't mean they can't introduce Miles Morales somehow.
What they could
Yeah.
do is just make the movie about Miles Morales, but have it start with Peter Parker's.
Death. That'd be interesting.
Interesting.
Holy
What
shit.
Oh, that would be
Have
good.
What
it
I
kick
really
off
want-
the first 5 minutes with Peter Parker's death.
I want a
other movies
Spider-Verse.
have done that.
I want a Spider-Verse movie though, because right now in the comics they have the Spider-Verse getting together in one universe, teaming up kind of bullshit. I think that's how it's going.
Yeah.
So it'd be neat to see, Peter Parker Spider-Man teaming up with Miles Morales Spider-Man, who in the comics is like a little kid. He's not that old.
Yeah,
He's
young.
13 or 14.
So yeah, and then Kane and all of like Peter Parker's clones. Oh, that'd be awesome. I want that as a movie, the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse the movie.
Oh, but yeah,
People
what we're
are-
getting, as I don't know if it's been confirmed, but Spider-Man apparently is appearing in Civil War. He
Yeah,
sort of
that's the
needs to
only
appear in
reason they
Civil
got the
War.
name.
He needs to. It's a part of the
He
story.
needs
that
to appear in
Peter
Civil War.
is-
But do you know what the best part of that movie is?
What?
Let's not let have Spider. Yeah, I fucked that up. Let's
Mhm.
not let Spider-Man have a big role in Civil War. Just like a little tease kind of thing. Have him show up, but not unmask or talk much. He's just there. Have him talk, whatever. People like, oh, that voice sounds really familiar. And then when Peter Parker unmasks, I think he's one of the people who unmasks, right?
Yeah. He's
Boom.
the one who gets unmasked and then he switches sides.
Unmasked to reveal Andrew Garfield.
That would be a great.
Oh my god.
And everybody would be like,
That's
oh shit.
Please.
Don't reveal that Andrew Garfield isn't or is Spider-Man still. Reveal it in the movie when people are at the theater.
Oh, people just flip their
People
shit.
will know.
Or unmasked Tobey Maguire.
Yes, please.
People want that movie where Tobey
But
Maguire
funny
and
thing
Andrew
is,
Garfield are in the same universe.
In the Spider-Verse, like in one of the recent Spider-Verse-y comics, there's a nod to two movie Spider-Mans, and they talk about the guy who was on Seabiscuit or something, and they talk about the guy from The Social Network in this one Spider-Man comic as Spider-Man.
That's
It's
awesome.
pretty funny. But yeah,
Jesse Eisenberg as Spider-Man.
no,
No.
no, but yeah, if I don't know if Andrew Garfield isn't Spider-Man again, the chances are very high that he won't be Spider-Man again.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who I'd want. I can't really think of another
saw a
Spider-Man.
list.
Well, it kind of depends. Are they going to do a different Spider-Man? Are they going to do college age, or where they should?
I don't
be at?
want
high school
like
age.
another high school
People-
Spider-Man.
I
I
think
want an
that's what they're
older
gonna go with, though.
Spider-Man.
I've heard that that's what.
But
they
they've
wanna
already
do, a
done
high
the
school.
older Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I don't want like another.
They've had two.
Because high school is
Spider-Man
origin.
movies.
High school is origin story though, and I don't want another
Well,
origin
they're
story.
not doing an origin story, I believe. They're just gonna go straight
They
to
really
him in
shouldn't.
action without
They
a love
shouldn't.
interest.
Because everybody fucking knows how Peter
There-
Parker becomes Spider-Man.
There have been 2 origin stories in the past 20 years. There is absolutely zero reason.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, who would I like to see? Matt Smith. Well, it wouldn't happen.
no.
It'd be great. It'd be
What?
so good.
Who's the guy who is
You
gonna
think?
be playing
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Fantastic? 'Cause people want him to
Yeah,
play
people wanted him.
Spider-Man.
People wanted him as Spider-Man.
I'd like to see a Matt Smith Deadpool, actually.
Hmm.
I didn't think of him for that, but if he were to use an American accent, like his crazy scenes in Doctor Who, he could totally pull it off.
Yeah, he could.
Just based on those, like,
Also, Danny DeVito for Spider-Man.
No.
Danny DeVito for Spider-Man.
actually, you know what? You know who I would actually really love to hear? Charlie Day for Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I didn't
want
think of
him
that.
to play a villain in a Marvel movie.
Who?
I don't know why. I want Charlie Day to
Charlie
be
Day
a
is
villain.
such a good
Not like a
actor.
main villain, but
No,
like
no.
a side villain.
Danny
Like-
DeVito
like
could
what he
play
did in Pacific
Kingpin,
Rim.
like a really short Kingpin.
Really short king. He kind of looks like the Green Goblin. He can play a short Green Goblin.
No.
I want to
Okay,
see
when
Danny
is he
DeVito
coming
for Green
back?
Goblin.
Hmm. We'll start that hashtag, Danny DeVito for Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I want to see him back in his penguin garb.
Yeah.
Penguin.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin was just unnerving.
Danny DeVito for Joker.
I would love a different. Yeah.
Danny DeVito for Deadpool.
I would love that they remake the Dark Knight
Danny
Rises,
DeVito
but it's Danny
for
DeVito
Superman.
as Bane.
Oh God.
No, it's Batman Begins, Danny DeVito as Scarecrow, Batman, The Dark Knight, and then Danny DeVito as the Joker, and we bring him back for the.
And then Danny DeVito as Batman in the last movie.
In the last movie.
I really wanted the
Glenn
Riddler
Howerton can be
to be a
Talia al Ghul.
villain in the Nolan movies.
I think they could have done a really good Riddler.
Like when they announced that like they're making another Batman movie, Dark Knight Rises, and I was like, oh God, who's the villain gonna pick? Because they didn't announce who the villain was gonna be right away. I don't think. And everyone was like, man, make it the Riddler. And then I'm like, Riddler, who'd be a good Riddler? David Tennant. And then it's like, make that the movie. And then it's like, oh, we're doing Bane. It's like, oh.
Tom Hardy did really good. Well, good.
Oh
well,
yeah, I didn't have any doubts about him to begin with, and I wasn't really sure why everyone was
Because he's not
freaking
the
out.
Bane from the movie is nothing
Mhm.
like the Bane in the comics.
Bane in the comics is fucking stupid, isn't he?
No,
No,
he's a
no.
Mexican wrestler.
Yeah, he's a
looks like
luchador.
it. And no, but he also has like
he uses Venom. Is
yeah,
that what
he
it's
uses
called?
Venom,
Mhm.
which is like a
Mhm.
steroid-like thing, in which obviously Bane doesn't use in the movie.
It's just like, I'm
Holy
buff.
shit! Holy shit! I just saw some news that I was not aware of. It's fake. It does relate. Not it very tangentially, but it does. Apparently, Interstellar is coming back to IMAX
Mhm.
theaters with 12 minutes of extra footage.
I haven't
Oh,
seen that
yeah.
movie.
Now I have to waste $20 more.
Yeah, freak. I wonder what that 12 minutes is, because that was a good
I
movie.
don't care what it is.
It did no. It doesn't need the extra 12 minutes.
I haven't
I'll tell
seen
you
it.
It was a
now,
long
it doesn't.
movie, I agree. But
Oh,
I mean,
it's long as shit, but that movie is beautiful, and if it gives me more excuses to stare at it, I don't care. I'll do
All
it.
right.
If
all right,
they,
all right.
If they end it, if the 12 minutes is at the end, I don't want it.
Oh, I agree. I actually think that they should have ended it
Earlier,
right as
way
the
earlier.
shot of Saturn came in. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not
Nope.
gonna say the
Oh,
rest.
I agree.
Spoiler wise. But
I-
yeah, it should have ended right there.
Am I the
and
only
then
one who hasn't
everything
seen
after that was-
Yes, you're the only one who hasn't seen it.
You need to.
Fair enough.
Like in the
Really
whole
good
world.
movie.
It's honestly
very
very
pretty movie. Very pretty.
Very pretty movie.
It's very
I-
pretty, and it's also very well written. I think.
Yeah.
Like I
For the most
genuinely
part.
did enjoy it.
Yeah,
There are
really-
some parts.
some
that-
of it is a little ham-fisted.
I did like the concept of time in it. That was just I've never seen that in a movie before.
I like that they like did it the way that it actually is. Like they
Yeah.
they didn't like change it so to avoid like the huge gut punch of it. They just kind of like went for it. Like I wish more movies did that. Is basically what I'm saying. Like I don't know why sci-fi movies insist on using like outlandish fucking physics and just not using real world physics because they're already very cool.
Yeah.
Like the way our universe works is already really motherfucking cool. We
I
don't
agree.
need to make up rules. Why? Who cares? Like it doesn't help your story to have to make up rules and break rules of physics when what we have is so amazing.
All right, so going straight from there, Star Wars 7.
I have high hopes.
We sort of talked about this last week.
Yeah,
Um,
we had a brief discussion.
Keller, we weren't there last week. We
Yeah.
can have a conversation.
So
yeah,
talk.
you guys have a talk.
I like the director.
Mm-hmm.
I like the teaser.
Oh, love me some JJ.
Do you believe the hype?
and Andy
We talked
Serkis
about
is in
that.
it. Those
Yeah.
are three things,
Yeah.
and I'm good.
I'm sure it'll be
Honestly,
a great
I
movie.
trust J.J. Abrams on pretty much everything he does because he hasn't made anything like actually bad.
Yeah,
And
Bo-
people bitch about the lens flares all they want. Like,
I don't
fuck
care
you,
about
it's
that.
still
It
pretty.
looks-
like,
yeah. Bonus point: they did not use George Lucas's ideas.
Oh no, they canned it
Yeah.
for the movie. He wanted to He wanted to like write the story, I think.
Yeah.
And Disney
He
was like,
already
haha,
wrote
no.
a trilogy.
And Disney
He
was like,
wrote a
nope.
trilogy.
good. He shouldn't. He should have
don't
no
want his
access to those
name.
movies.
His name is Poison now.
Mm-hmm. He's still like
I mean, what
executive
was the last
producer or
good
some
movie
bullshit.
he did? I think it was called Star Wars Episode
I
6.
saw an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting thing the other day that was a review of Jupiter Ascending.
I've
And
heard
it
this.
basically compared the Wachowskis to George Lucas. That they made an exceedingly great movie under budgetary and time restrictions, but once those were both removed, they were just allowed to go nuts. And there are people that should not be allowed to go nuts because a lot of writers like that tend to work better under that kind of pressure because they know what they have to. They know their limits essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And when you just give them free reign, they can't stop themselves. Like, they just go nuts with their ideas, and they have no way to really filter themselves because they don't have those restrictions. Like, the restrictions are the filters for a story. So, basically, George Lucas got a lot of money and a lot of studio support.
And that screwed him.
I
Yeah.
heard that movie was all over the place.
I really want to see Jupiter Ascending.
Oh,
based
it's
on...
the prettiest garbage that you'll ever see.
That's what I
That's
heard
what I've
exactly.
heard.
It's the prettiest garbage that's all over the place.
And I swear to God, if anyone says Pacific Rim is the prettiest garbage they have ever seen,
Pacific
I will-
Rim is a good movie though.
I will punch any of you in the face.
No, it
because
was.
that
I
movie is
really
great.
do like Pacific Rim. It was enjoyable.
Okay, Pacific Rim is exactly the opposite of what I wanted Godzilla to be. And Godzilla was pretty close to what I wanted it to be. Pacific Rim had that love story that I didn't care about, but every other part I was like, yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like the love
punch
story
that
was
fucking
part
monster.
of the joke. Because
That's what I think. I think it's a joke. Yeah.
But I also think too, if they hadn't added that in and they hadn't broken up the fighting in some
Yeah,
way,
you'd be bored of
it wouldn't
Godzilla
have-
by the end of the
you'd be
movie.
bored.
People wouldn't love it the way that they did. Like,
And I really love
the thing with
Godzilla.
those kinds of things is, like, even when you're writing a dumb story, you have to do it in a smart way.
Yeah.
Like, you have to understand pacing, especially with fucking dumb stories. It takes
Yeah.
almost more skill to write a dumb story than a smart one. Like,
And I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, it's fine. Go for it. That was pretty
Um,
much my point. I would have just talked in circles.
I feel like the main argument for when people hate Godzilla is not enough Godzilla. He's hardly in the movie. Oh, he shows up like 15 minutes in.
Good.
And every time I say, yeah, that's how you make a fucking monster movie. You don't blow the load on the monster the first 5 minutes. You build it up. Jurassic Park did it. Jaws did it. Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Cloverfield showed the monster like the fucking end, or something like that.
It gave you a glimpse. The actual
Yeah.
full. Has anyone seen the full shot of the monster?
Yes.
I've seen just that.
I just rewatched that movie too, a couple days ago.
Scary monster.
It's a good
Oh,
fucking
man,
movie.
The full model scared the fuck out of me. But
Well-
anyways, yeah, pacing. That's why Alien is such a classic movie.
A fantastic movie.
It
Here's-
understands pacing.
Yeah, the best part in Pacific Rim, the best part of Pacific Rim is when Charlie Day is pushed into that underground vault or like protective
Yeah.
thing, where and like you see the doors close and like the monsters, like you're hearing sound. That's the coolest part of the movie. Is anyone else with me there?
I don't know, dude. Did you see him pick up a
Charlie
fucking
did-
freighting ship and use it as a sword?
That
Yeah,
part was
was
pretty
pretty
badass.
Damn cool.
That was cool.
I'm gonna rewatch that movie later tonight
But-
after the podcast.
I don't
I
know
think-
if you guys watch Always Sunny, but I just want to kind of
No.
talk about Charlie Day.
Yes.
I
He's
don't know
the
if you guys
best.
have seen the latest episodes. If you guys
Nope.
seen Charlie work,
No.
that is that is the greatest episode of Always Sunny. I am not
Charlie
hyping it up
work.
because
Are you serious?
Is that from the
It's
newest
very
season
reminiscent
or like
of
season
Birdman,
8?
and it's all about Charlie, and it's amazing to see Charlie in
That's
in the
amazing.
spotlight.
That's what I'm gonna watch after.
And it's,
I've
and
only-
it's-
Is it
First-
better than the gang cracks the Liberty Bell? Because that, in
Ye-
my
I
opinion,
honestly,
is the
it's
best
close
episode.
because it's like an 8-minute almost continuous shot of Charlie just doing his work. It's amazing.
It's great.
Just, I recommend it. Okay,
I haven't seen that show since like season 2 somewhere.
Really,
great show.
It's
Yeah.
all on
Man.
Netflix. Like,
Oh man, so you haven't seen the?
It's not on
Nightmare
Canadian
Comics where
Netflix,
the
I don't
gang
think.
cracks the Liberty
you
Bell?
can go to American use.
Well, like yeah.
Yeah,
I know. But no, I like Godzilla a lot. I went to the theater to see it with my buddy. He is not a Godzilla fan, but he liked it. I do agree that the
Those
human love
Godzilla
story
fans
was.
I know hated it.
I heard
I
that
didn't. I
Bryan
love
Cranston
Godzilla.
like, he was in the commercials a lot, but he was only in it for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Good.
it was.
Yeah, that's
good.
what I want.
Godzilla's the fucking person we're supposed to care about, not fucking Bryan Cranston.
I care
Yeah.
about Bryan Cranston. I'm
I
a
love
Bryan
cool
Bryan
man.
Cranston.
best.
Don't get me wrong, but
You're not there to
Damn.
see people. You're there to see. Everyone's like, "Oh, Bryan Cranston died." It's like you're here to see Godzilla kick ass.
Okay,
real-
hold on. You were just making the point that you're not supposed
Yeah.
to see Godzilla.
But when you do
Yeah.
see him, you lose your shit. That's the whole point of build up.
The real twist is that Bryan Cranston is Godzilla.
It is Godzilla. Yeah.
He's in the fucking like Godzilla suit like they used to do in the '60s, the old movie, the Toho movies.
Like, they
Which
took
they're
off his
making another
head, it's
Toho
Bryan
movie.
Cranston.
and Saul Goodman turns out to be Mothra.
Oh
Would've
shit!
gone away with it. We're free
By the
metal
way, if you hear
kids.
any background noise, that's my roommates freaking out about our college basketball team who are currently playing.
Fun fact:
Mm.
three monsters confirmed for the sequel. Apparently,
I heard about that. That's
What
what
was this?
King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan
That's what they're getting ready
for
for.
the Godzilla sequel. Apparently, they teased it
I
at
thought
Comic
Mothra
Con.
was in this one.
No, it was just no. It was
Kaiju,
Muto.
just generic con-
They
kaiju.
made their own. But
They
at
look
Comic
like
Con
polygons.
at Comic Con this year, I think it was Comic Con this year. Gareth Edwards, and he's the dude. He teased some monsters, and he teased Mothra, King Ghidorah, and Rodan. And for the people who don't know, King
Isn't it
Ghidorah is
Ghidorah?
like a Ghidorah, whatever you want to call him.
Ghidorah.
I
King
think it's
Ghidorah.
yeah, Ghidorah,
Something
Ghidorah.
like that.
And he's basically like a three-headed golden dragon.
Yeah, with
Which I'm
wings.
curious how they're going to explain that, because it seems like these movies are more, not ludicrous, kinda.
There's still a gigantic lizard that they just kind of said it's from radiation.
Well,
From the
yeah.
deep.
At least they didn't explain it. Tried to explain it like 1997 Godzilla.
Isn't 1997 Godzilla explained the same way? Like
No,
it was...
they're like, oh, it was an iguana that got mutated.
Oh, I remember now.
This,
I remember that.
Oh, isn't that the Matthew Broderick one?
yeah,
or
the really shitty Godzilla movie.
That was a good Godzilla movie. No?
No,
Just me? I hated that
No.
movie. That movie ruined the song Kashmir for me forever.
why?
Because they used it as their theme song. Now,
Plus,
whenever
like,
I
the-
hear Kashmir, I think of that movie, and
I
I'm
don't.
like, God damn.
Yeah, I don't even understand the baby Godzillas. It's like
What?
this feels
They
like
were baby
Jurassic Park
Godzillas.
now.
Well, that's what movie came out around that time.
Lost
what-
World Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
1997.
They were like, oh, they're doing another Jurassic Park. Let's do a Jurassic Park, but call it Godzilla.
It was just so bad. And then they had a Godzilla movie called what movie was it? I can't remember. It was a Godzilla movie, Godzilla Final Wars, and it was a Toho Godzilla, so the Japanese Godzilla, and they have Godzilla fight the Godzilla from the 1998 movie.
They called it Zilla.
Yeah, and they called it Zilla, and he kills him in like one hit with his tail.
Yeah, like he throws him into like a gigantic building
Mhm.
and then lasers him.
That's an awesome movie. And the fact that it's so bad, it's good.
Well, isn't that what all of those Godzilla movies are? They're
Yeah.
so bad they're good.
Yep.
Up until this one, which was just pretty good.
And the Toho dudes are making another Godzilla movie of a dude in a
Guys, I'll be
suit.
right back.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, it's another Godzilla movie of a dude wearing a costume that's coming out. Pretty
You-
excited.
Yeah. You want to
That's
move
enough.
on to games?
Yeah, let's actually move on to some of
Or-
our uploads.
Yeah.
Talk
games
about
on our
what's
uploads.
going on with the channel and what we're going to be doing.
Let's
So
talk
you
about your
guys-
video first.
My
Yes.
Jurassic Park video,
Yeah, because yours was the first released after the
So-
podcast.
it's just going to be me playing Jurassic Park Operation Genesis and yelling at dinosaurs. Nothing too special.
Okay.
Killing off tourists, letting my dinosaurs loose on the island, see what I can do. That's about it. I'm going to be recording some other stuff too, I think. I don't have anything planned right now. We should record a Portal 2 thing.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
do that this weekend.
And then the next video that was released was from Trevor and Shua,
Oh, that was
Which is
great.
us. That
which was the
great.
Project Zomboid, which I want it to be a series.
Yeah.
I think we could turn it into series, but I don't know, man. Those one-offs.
Those were fucking great.
It was perfect. We bookended it, you know?
Yeah, I like the
We
character
created a
development.
character and then bleh, eh,
I thought
I
the
mean-
rules were the best part.
rules were great.
Or actually no, the ending was the best.
Yeah.
Because
It had a
one
gun,
of you
Trevor.
she was infected.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna die.
And Trevor's like, "Come here, I'll help you out." And he had a gun, and it was just great.
I'm not sure how we're gonna do the next one. Either we're both gonna be in private servers and we might do a competition to see who's gonna last the longest, or we're gonna try to figure out how to do a damn
I like
private
that.
server. Because we went on a public server for that video and everything was rated, so that's why we only had a spoon and a frying pan.
So could you have like, I've never played Project Zomboid. So could you have like come across other people and they could have fucked you over?
Yeah,
We could have.
We decided to go on a private server, well, a public server with no one on it first
Ah.
because we were worried.
Wimps.
Well, we only had spoons, so I'm glad we did it. But
It would
really
have been
good
much
game.
shorter.
I really do love that game because it's kind of simple, but it works. It's like a better DayZ, but it's a top down.
I just got a game on Steam, gifted to me, by somebody to play Minecraft with. It's Don't Starve Together. I already have the original
Oh,
Don't Starve.
That's a great game.
So
I
I
don't
would've got-
have it, but
I would have gotten Don't Starve Together free when it exits early access, but I don't know when that's going to be. And for those who don't know, Don't Starve is like a survival game,
it's similar
but
to
it's like,
Project Zomboid,
but it's got like a
more-
Tim
has
Burton-esque
really
look to
nice-
it.
Yeah, really nice artwork or art style.
And there's and they released a co-op game called Don't Starve Together,
Together.
which is on early access. And if you own the original game, you'll get it for free when it exits
Oh,
early
shit.
access.
That.
Which you don't know when that's when I don't know when that's gonna be. But I'd like to record videos in Don't Starve Together.
That'd be fun.
Ugh.
I really
And the
enjoy
forest
that.
needs to happen. There needs to be some co-op stuff in the forest.
Well, I'm waiting for one of you two to get the forest. I'm ready to go.
Is it only 2-player co-op?
I heard there's multiplayer.
It said multiplayer and co-op, so
I've
That's
seen
the confusing
3-player.
thing. I'm gonna
Um,
Google this because I really want to play that game, and I've never
We've-
played it before. And I think my first interaction with it should be multiplayer.
I
I've
think
also
so.
been. I might do the Escapist by myself. I've thought about that. I've been playing around a bit, and then really Escapist is one of those games where when I was watching other people play, I'm like, I was just laughing, thinking how easy it was, just thinking how everyone's an idiot. And then when I started playing, I just ate my words. It's hard.
Yeah, it looks really hard. I just read that the game launched with 2-player co-op, but they're thinking of they're planning on increasing it once in a while.
Oh,
Okay.
I just don't know what it's at right now.
Coming out this Wednesday, hopefully, if Blue finishes it, is Racing Mania, which is now going to be my favorite series.
Which is
Well, originally me and Blue, we're gonna make a show called Two Noobs on a Mission. Where we're gonna fail at games, but due to Blue failing and not be able to get a game that we were gonna play called Dino Storm, we decided
that sounds great.
It's a shitty
Wow.
fucking game.
it's shitty, which is why we were gonna do it. But Blue booted up The Sims, and I just started watching her play, and I just brought the idea: what if Manny was a baby and we'd have to take care of him? And so now we have just a family taking care of Manio in the shittiest house imaginable.
That's incredible. I'm pretty
And,
excited about that.
Yeah, and the best part is Drew from last week on the podcast. He's a woman in that we decided, and there's gonna be a lot of love. We don't know who's gonna fall in love with Drew, but that's the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep my eye out for that.
You better keep your eye out. You're gonna love it.
Are we talking about things that we're doing now?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Other than that,
Just clarifying. I don't really have established yet.
So Harry, who is supposed to be on or was he on last podcast? No,
He's supposed to be
he's
on
not.
this. He's supposed to be on
He's
this one.
supposed to be on this podcast.
I took his place.
He's asleep. He's Scottish, so
Typical.
he's
Scot.
tired or
Fucking
something
Scottish
like that.
bitch.
I know, right? Anyway, he had an idea about playing indie games. I forgot what he called it, but
Indie
I
slots.
just got the game Indie Slots. That's right. I just got the game This War of Mine, which
Good.
seems
Oh, man,
depressing.
that game. Ugh.
I have it downloaded, but I started playing Fallout New Vegas again.
Oh, Fallout's such a good game.
It's so good.
Definitely
Oh.
got to download those mods.
Should we talk about that? Fallout 4, the possibility.
It's
Segway. That's
it's
what we call in the industry a
a
segue.
Segway.
Yeah.
Just get on your Segway and drive away.
And we'll drive about this.
It's
because-
so basically Bethesda, who are the publishers of the Fallout series and the Elder Scrolls series and the Butt series. Butt series is not a product they have. Basically, they
I wish it
announced that
was,
they're going
yeah.
to be having a entire conference at E3. They're going to be replacing Konami. So Konami
Yeah.
won't be having their conference this year, or like a full
Good,
conference.
fuck Konami.
And Bethesda is taking their place, and a lot of people are like freaking the fuck out because to have a conference, you have to talk about multiple games. So the speculation is they'll be revealing some Fallout 4, which I could care less about, to be honest.
But me
screw
and
you.
Trevor
But
And Dishonored 2.
Dishonored
Dishonored
2
2.
could be a
definitely
thing.
gonna be a part of
But
it.
what and I think me personally, and what a lot of people want to see is since Bethesda is publishing the new Doom game,
Doom's gonna be there.
That's what I
Oh
want
yeah,
to see.
Doom's getting shown.
It's
I,
gonna
They've
be-
I need to see me some Doom.
already
Hopefully-
shown the trailer to a lot
I
of
loved
it.
press.
Oh my
So-
god.
I'm gonna
So
say
has Elder Scrolls Online officially been launched for console?
I believe so.
No.
Or
It's-
later.
No,
It's
has
going.
not been
delayed.
When's it going free to play?
It's
I
not
think
free
when
to
it
play.
comes
You have
out
to
for
buy
consoles.
it once.
Because the MMOs, they don't do too well nowadays unless you're World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and even that's on decline too.
Final Fantasy MMO's been doing pretty well.
I just
There's a Final Fantasy MMO.
I didn't.
Yeah.
know
They
this.
it was 11, but they relaunched it as 14, and like
Yep.
fixed a bunch of shit. And some of my friends had it, and they were real big fans of it.
But everyone says a lot of people are talking about how they want another Elder Scrolls game. I do not. Too
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah,
I mean, especially with Elder Scrolls Online, just releasing.
I think.
Just
well,
please let Fallout.
I
get
think
its
we're gonna
time
be
to
seeing.
shine.
I think we're gonna see a tease for Fallout 4, and obviously we're gonna see Doom stuff. I would like to see some Dishonored too because Dishonored was fantastic. But yeah,
And of course the Butt series.
and the
series
butt
coming.
and the butt series. That being
What would-
said,
What would the Butt series be about?
it would
Leo?
be
Butts.
an RPG where
Of course.
you
That's
play as a butt doctor. I don't know what they're called right now. And you
Buttologist?
a buttologist named Dr. Anus,
Yes.
and you have to do rectal exams, and it's an RPG with in the Fallout engine, the Skyrim engine, the Elder Scrolls engine, and you have to do colonoscopies.
One day
on
the
different-
king needs a
on different, like,
colonoscopy,
fantasy
and you
creatures.
have to travel.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and revert away from butt. Shua,
Mhm.
you and I are extremely excited about Fallout 4.
Yes, of course. Frick,
Keller?
yeah.
Have any thoughts on Fallout 4?
Dead.
No.
I am extremely motherfucking excited about Fallout
Yeah.
4,
So 3 out of 4.
but I have
Okay.
a complicated relationship with Bethesda.
Well, that's okay.
Explain.
They have some buggy things.
Well, here's the thing. It's not even the bugginess. It's the fact that they are great at making pretty open worlds that are completely empty.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else
That's
gets
true.
that feeling.
Well,
like,
that's my issue with Fallout.
that was my main gripe with Skyrim.
I feel like though with Fallout that makes sense because it's a post-apocalypse. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Fallout
it's
3, I never really minded it, but
I didn't like New Vegas, so
I
that's
get New
fine.
Vegas though because New
I
Vegas
like
is
New
a bunch of
Vegas,
desert.
but I get why people don't like it.
I love.
I love both. Like
Yeah.
that's why I need Fallout 4. I just need that another RPG to enjoy.
I want it to be in Boston. I want everything
Everyone wants Boston.
Survivor 2299 hoax.
I remember at the end when the guy did the violin, I was so pissed off.
Sure, you don't want Fallout 4 in
I-
Boston. You want it in
I
Canada.
need the Survivor hoax to
Think
be
about
the
Canada,
actual
it'd be
plan for the
interesting in
game.
Canada because Canada is pretty much annexed at that and it's gone. So it'd be very interesting.
There's established
it's
lore about
extremely
Boston.
savage. Extremely savage in Canada.
Yeah.
So but Boston because there's an institute there, right? It was
Yeah,
talked about
there's
in Fallout
actually
3,
established lore, and
which is
so,
why people
Yeah,
and obviously Boston's it would be a great area because of the architecture. Just imagine it destroyed and what you can go in.
Okay, so
And
now
plus-
I want to talk about changes.
Yep.
You can update the lighting, update the graphics,
Hmm.
but gameplay, it's extremely solid.
Yeah, I don't think they'll
What do you
change much.
do to it?
I still think it needs to be tweaked a little bit.
yeah, I
Um,
would agree. It
If
needs
you
to
play
feel
on if you
like
play it on
tweaked.
if you play Fallout on consoles, even the Elder Scrolls on consoles is still really fucking clunky
Yeah, it is.
in
I
terms
would
of like
agree with that.
going
play
through the
PC.
menus. Because but if you play it on PC, it's like bam, 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 bam.
I would argue the main problem with the combat in the Fallout games is that everyone moves like really floaty, and nothing feels natural at all.
And everybody
That's
uses
true.
VATS.
Yeah.
You like jump around
Yeah.
and stuff.
But I
and
mean,
it doesn't
VATS
feel
is like
real.
the best part of it, honestly.
Oh,
it's so
VATS.
satisfying to kill
Popping,
someone with the head.
popping heads.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know. I'd like to see.
It's a hard game. They have a good formula. I don't know how they.
I would like to see more story content personally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be
the
seeing bigger
stories are
worlds
a
too,
main
though.
quest that isn't garbage would be nice.
Yeah,
Which one are you talking about? 3 or 4? New
Three.
Vegas.
yeah. Three
I
is
Vegas
really,
is
well,
very
3 I
different.
get, 'cause it's pretty much finding your father, but I like it. I don't know.
Actually,
It works for me.
I take that back. What I want to see most improved about it, you know what? Fucking throw out the old Elder Scrolls Fallout engine and give me an engine where the NPCs don't look like wooden blocks.
Thank
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
the
That's
character
what I
models are
want.
so bad.
Oh,
I want the
yeah.
NPCs to look like fucking human beings, and
Which
like,
is gonna happen. I
The
think that's
best-
one that
and
they-
talk like them.
The best part about the mods that come out for Skyrim and Fallout and whatever, the player mod, like the models, the character models look so much better than the in-game ones that are shipped with it.
It still
See-
is a pretty looking game for 2008.
Yeah,
I give it that.
I'm
Mhm.
not too worried about the character models. I want animation. I want some sort of
Oh,
animation.
yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's
I want
that's
sprints.
kind of what I was trying to get.
Yeah, that's what I assumed you were.
because the
talking
animations are
about.
still pretty fucking horrible.
Oh, it's garbage.
Oh.
To say it's horrible is a disservice to all animation because it implies that that is animation.
The jumping is pretty great.
Well,
Uh,
when you're talking to someone, it cuts and it zooms in on their face, and then they're just like really stiff,
Well, here's an
sometimes-
idea.
and they
Use
kind of
fucking
move their hand
eyebrows.
once.
Like animate the goddamn eyebrows. That
Yeah.
fixes
Yeah.
like 60%
gonna
of
It's,
the
happen.
problems.
it's creepy. Okay, fun question. Let's say you're in charge of, you're the creative director for Fallout 4. You get to add one feature that you want. What would it be? Mine would be likes. The Elder Scrolls games, you can pick, instead of picking, oh, you have to be a human, let the people have like a choice between like a couple races, because there isn't a lot of races in Fallout now with the mutation. So like
There'd be
maybe let people
Three.
play as either a human or as a ghoul.
or
Super
as
mutant.
A mutant,
super
but mutant would be very
I would love to
overpowered.
play Fallout
No.
solely as a Deathclaw,
'Cause the-
personally.
Yes.
Oh man, I remember when you first
I'd like to play
encountered.
Radroach, please.
I remember the first time I encountered a Deathclaw in Fallout 3. I was like, what the
You'd be
fuck is that
screwed if
thing?
You're not level 20.
I was like level 5.
Oh, but
And I'm like, what the
Oh,
fuck's
yeah.
that thing? And it came running at me. I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Pardon?
Was
Near
it
the
up near the
Enclave.
Enclave during
I
that
th-
section?
I
'Cause that's
think
when
so.
I encountered mine, and it scared the fuck out of me.
That and the Yaoguais. I think that's what they're called.
those aren't bad. I
Oh,
always
yeah.
had Animal Friend on.
Those are just like
Oh.
even quicker Deathclaws.
My favorite thing to do though in like the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout games is to kill people when they're sleeping. It's,
Yeah,
no,
I did that too.
it's
actually.
funny because you know in Elder Scrolls, you could become a vampire, so you could like suck on the blood of people in bed. That's funny, but it's more funny when you walk into their house, especially in Fallout, because you have guns and it's just like ridiculous with the VATS and the bodies go fucking flying everywhere. Oh, so much fun! Like putting
Um,
live grenades in people's pockets.
We
Oh.
talk about. I put it on the news prompts, but I don't know if that got filmed. I really want to talk about how someone
yet.
found a Half-Life 3 reference in a Dota 2 patch. Like,
I
and
haven't
by
heard about
Half-Life
this.
3 reference, I mean that there's a line of code in this patch, and it's replicatable to the point where multiple people have done it. That refers to Half-Life 3. I should clarify, it's a patch on the Source 2 test version that is currently in Dota, and basically there's a line that refers to Half-Life 3 in Source nomenclature, as in like -HL3.
Yep.
So that would not
Mm.
be there with like unless there was some reason for it to be. It's definitely not accidental. So it basically means that it may
Half-Life
not
3
mean that
confirmed.
it's actively in development, but it does mean that like that line of code is there because that
Or
game will
Gabe's a
exist
real
at some point in the
asshole.
future, or assets from that game are part of Source 2.
Do you think Gabe wakes up each day just thinking like, how can I mess with the community today? Just
I think he absolutely does.
Yeah, as a Dota player, I would agree.
like he adds like little codes to each game. That's his job now.
He
Doesn't
stares
even
at
care
all of
about
us
the
complaining
company.
about game-breaking bugs and broken pay-to-win bullshit on Reddit, and then just laughs all day.
Look at all my money.
He just throws money, just making Half-Life jokes. Like he goes up to a child, he's like, "When's Half-Life 3 coming out?" And he's just like, "Tomorrow." And then he
A
makes the
child
kid
wouldn't even know
excited.
what Half-Life 3 is.
Well, you know, kids these days.
But
They would.
I feel like I'm in the minority of people who don't really give a shit about Half-Life 3
No.
now.
Who cares? It's been how long now? It's been since Half-Life
It's gonna
2
look
came out.
terrible.
It's gonna, yeah. And it's
People-
probably not gonna,
well,
it's not
here's the
gonna
thing,
definitely
it-
live up, it's
I
not
doubt
gonna
it
live up to
will
the
be
hype.
terrible.
It's gonna
But
be a
I
Duke
think-
Nukem, I think. It's been so long.
And
no,
it's,
I
it's
think
been
what-
it's being hyped up too much. There's no
I
way it's gonna
think-
deliver.
There's a theory out there that it's basically the reason Valve hasn't released it is because each Half-Life has revolutionized the field in some way, and they're still kind of waiting for technology to advance or for them to find like that advancement that they're going to ship Half-Life 3 with.
Half-Life 3,
They're going to
you're
build the game around.
Half-Life 3, you're actually in the game. Well, it'd be the perfect time to do to integrate it with like Oculus.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
No one's gonna get it, though,
I wouldn't say
'cause
that
no one has
because it's not-
Oculus.
yeah, it's not very mainstream yet, and the release version's not even out yet.
And they're
Oculus
still
Rift
working
is
on
so
that
cool.
Steam console as well.
Which I don't know if
That's
anybody.
Uh,
I don't know
no,
of
they're
anybody
not.
who
The
wants
Steam
one.
machines are out.
Wait, what?
Are they?
You can,
Yeah.
I believe so.
'Cause I would
I don't
say
know
I
if
thought
some
dev
models
kits
out.
and like alphas were out.
I
Maybe
think the whole
it's the
Steam
alphas.
machine's stupid.
'cause I was gonna say it would be genius
no,
if
I think it's-
Steam would just make the master plan like, hey, by the way, if you buy the Steam machine, it's Half-Life 3, Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3. All on
That's
it.
They
never
would.
gonna happen.
I don't. They wouldn't do
But
that because
it'd
they'd
be
alienate a lot of their main
genius.
consumer
No.
base.
Yeah, I think they'd do. It'd be a great idea just for
Well, it wouldn't make sense on there. Here's why I don't think that theory works. It wouldn't make sense because the point of Steam machines is that any computer like company can them. Like the whole OS is free, and the whole infrastructure is free.
because they're competing. I'm just
So-
saying that because they're competing now with PS4 and Xbox One.
I don't
So
think
they
they're really
need-
trying to compete with them because they're not trying to get in on like the actual console market. It's more for like people like me who about 2 years ago when I built my computer, the goal of it was to make it like a console killer. Like it was supposed to serve the purpose of a console, but be way more powerful. And I think that that's what they're going for, is that there are a lot of people out there who want to just like sit on the couch and play shit, but they also want it to not look like garbage and run like garbage. And the point of it is that you can get like a very stripped down, still very powerful computer for like $400 or
Yeah.
$500, and then plug it into your TV and play like on a console. And I think that personally, I think it's genius, but I also think that it's a little bit niche. I kind of wonder how sustainable it is.
I don't think it's going to be a lasting thing. Because I looked at some of like the price points for them, and I don't know. I just don't see the
I
appeal.
think once they get out there, companies will actually start trying to compete with each other. But since they're not really out yet, kind of
'Cause I
hard
think-
to make any predictions on that.
Because technically, it's like for people who don't want to spend money on an expensive gaming rig, you can buy this.
Yeah,
But they're still more expensive than like the Xbox One and
Yeah.
the PS4. And people are like, well, if I can't afford a PC, and I still want to play these games, I'll just buy the cheaper alternative, which is the consoles.
Here's my thinking. Google, this is going to be extremely, stick with me. So Google, they did fiber
Yeah.
basically to force other companies to do fiber. This is so that they could get other people to their websites faster and get more and more revenue. I think what they could be doing with the Steam machine is basically put DRM and make it comfortable for the average consumer, because console people aren't comfortable with DRM yet.
DRM's still shit.
But not on Steam, it's not.
no,
on
it's
s-
still pretty shit.
A lot of
I would
there's still
argue.
there's still a
It's
lot of
getting
people who
better,
aren't
but
okay
for
with
a long time
DRM.
it was shit.
But as of now, we're gonna say DRM is only good or acceptable on Steam. And I mean, Origin tries to do it, and Uplay, and that's all shit. But if you get the consoles, no one will accept that. Everyone will be like, no, that's ridiculous. But if you put Steam machines and get everybody onto Steam, people will accept DRM, and Steam games will be able to get sold through every console more easily without having to produce discs, and you cut the cost of everything.
Tomorrow, Gabe's gonna murder you because you figured out his master plan.
I think the only problem I have with that plan is that like actual DRM kind of goes against Valve's philosophy to begin with, but also the Steam machines themselves would have to be like threatening on an economic level. Like it would have to sell so well that these companies stand up and take notice. And I don't think that that's going to happen, but I also don't think that that's Valve's goal. So I don't think that's a bad thing. Like I don't think that they're directly trying to compete. I think they're trying to compete with like PC. Like if that makes any sense. Like they're trying to make cheaper but still very powerful gaming rigs that you can also like just plug into your TV as a console. Like for people who don't want to play shit like Dota or World of Warcraft or whatever.
Fair enough.
Mm.
But the interesting, going back, I'm gonna backpedal a little bit here to Fallout. Interesting thing I read today. There is a YouTuber by the name of Captain Sparkles.
Oh
yeah.
And he was making a game called Fortress Fallout, and he got hit with a cease and desist. Oh, now, mainly because of the word Fallout, and it's not surprising because of what they did about scrolls. What do you guys think? Does this mean that Fallout 4 is definitely a possibility if they're targeting people with counter with these?
Totally...
Because then that happened with Elder Scrolls. Before Skyrim was coming out, they did it.
Here's the problem: if the trademark for Fallout is anything like the trademark for Half-Life, I know that Valve had to defend Half-Life's trademark as well at some point, because basically the trademark that Half-Life has is that you have to do something with that trademark within like the time allotted to you. Have it. You have to actually do something. So with Fallout, if it is that kind of trademark, I would be like moderately excited. If it's not though, then
They're still doing something. I mean,
yeah. And Bethesda does have a history of just being out. Like,
but I mean, Fallout's one of their biggest franchises, like other than Scrolls. So I mean, I can't see why not. Like, they're not like we should just leave this. I mean, it's a good moneymaker, and they've had what 6 years now to make a new one.
Oh, longer than that.
Yeah.
yeah, that and where they've been bringing Fallout 1 and 2 onto other platforms like I think Good Old Games sells it now, or sells both. I think Steam does too.
Steam does.
I guess
Steam
that
does.
also qualifies doing something with the trademark, but I don't know. But I think the specifics of that are very sketchy, but I remember that being the case at some point.
Yeah, it's not that they're like, oh, we've got to go fuck these people because we're about to release a different kind of Fallout and it'll confuse people. That's just
it's more they
our
have to defend the trademark,
so we have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
it's
they
like
might lose
legally
it.
they have to defend it to prove that they actually do want it and they're not just like taking up space to troll.
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry to be the buzzkill. Everybody,
I'll still play it.
But...
Even though I didn't like New Vegas, I will check out Fallout 4.
No, that was an Obsidian game though, so
True.
Guys, how was your week?
It was alright.
All right. Anything interesting?
$600 internet bill that I'm refusing to pay.
having my brain broken by Gone Girl and also my philosopher/psychologist boyfriends.
Nice. Trevor?
Yeah.
Saturday was lonely.
Yeah, let's talk about Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Why?
I think Keller was the only one with an actual
Ah.
Valentine's Day, and then we had Sad Day.
What was? I didn't.
I Singles Awareness Day.
I have a lot of.
Mine started out as sad day, but yeah, it got better.
I have a lot of distaste towards Valentine's Day, and not because it's like, oh, it's commercial. It's just I don't like it, and not because I'm single
I think
either.
it's just a really dickish thing to do.
It's just why take one day out of the year to show the person you love that you love them when you can just do it every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like obviously
Yeah.
not
Too
like
expensive
spend
to do it
not
every
spend
day.
like thousands of dollars on like nice stuff or like dinners, but at least fucking do it once in a while. Not wait till like one time of the year to do something special. Do special things.
No, of course you do it. Oh, anniversary, Valentine's Day, birthday.
But it's always but the
Three-
way it
three
is.
times
It's
a
just,
year.
but people are just like, oh, Valentine's Day is the only day to do it. It's like bull fucking shit. If I want to coat my dick in
So do you
chocolate and give
also
it to
feel
my
this way
girlfriend,
about Mother's
I'm gonna
Day
do it
and
on
Father's
Halloween.
Day?
Eh.
That was a whole lot of sentence.
What about
that
President's
got
Day?
mashed up there?
Yeah, it was.
What about what?
I
Grandparents
don't
Day?
have any intense feelings about President's Day.
President's
takes-
Day.
I was gonna
The
say
fuck is
Trevor
They don't
President's
have
Day?
presidents, Trevor.
We don't have it. I was gonna say Trevor takes pride in
Today
Grandparents Day.
today's Family Day for
Oh yeah, I
Canadians.
forgot you were Canadian too, Josh.
Yeah. We're both.
Yeah, we have Family Day today.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
call your parents?
It's funny because
That's
there's no
cheese.
school.
I don't-
'cause it's
I don't
Family
need to
Day.
call my
I mean,
parents.
Family Day.
Really?
Siblings?
Ah.
Yeah.
No,
There's no
I
school tomorrow either. I don't know.
I
why.
live at home right now.
There's no school for people in the south of my state because they got 8 inches of snow today.
Yeah, we got more than 8 inches.
We're
I
at negative 40 degrees Celsius.
I think
I
we've got
don't know
almost
what that is
30
Fahrenheit.
centimeters. We've gone 30 centimeters.
That's
even
about
more
negative 40.
Fahrenheit.
That's about negative 40.
bad. It's been shitty
No,
winter.
0 Celsius.
Somewhere
is
around
32
negative
Fahrenheit.
42, it mixes. Like at about negative 42, it's about the same. Because it doesn't matter at that point.
Like, it's so cold.
I'm looking it up, yo.
My mustache instantly froze when I went outside.
I
It's
need
like,
a
oh,
shovel.
maybe
My
ice.
It
feet
is negative
froze.
43.6.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I-
great.
I have a story that relates to the snow that happened. I was sleeping and an alarm went off, and I needed to go see what it was because I was dog sitting, and I heard the carbon monoxide alarm, which I thought it was, and I was like, oh fuck, and so I was looking at the panel, and it was like radio failure and then shit. I'm like, what? So I call my dad. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? So I needed to call the fire department. The fire department comes. I evacuate the house with my dog, and I have nothing on me, just sitting in the cold.
Oh, dude.
And the fire department comes out, like there's nothing. So I'm like, well, I have to call the guy who put in there the whole alarm system. So he goes in, and I'm thinking like, holy fuck, like I'm the whole basement. I don't know if the fire department did it right. And the guy's like, he looks at me like I'm an idiot because the alarm that went off was fucking loud and it went on for 3 hours. And I need to shut off the whole alarm system. But the guy, he was like looking at me like I was an idiot because he was like, that wasn't the carbon monoxide alarm. And I'm like, what? No. He was like, this was actually the alarm to say that the alarm system on only that panel ran out of batteries. And I was just like, then what the fuck is the carbon monoxide alarm? And then I swear to God, he just clicks it, and all it was beep beep beep, and then 5 minutes later, beep beep beep, and
Nice.
I just looked at him like I could fucking die.
You'd be
Like,
dead 5 minutes
I
later.
would just like I would hear the car. If I heard that, I would be like, oh, who gives a fuck, and I'd go back to sleep. And
Yeah.
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Like, so I was just looking at him like, are you fucking kidding me? And he was like, yeah. And he just fixed it and he walked away. I'm like,
Look at it this way. If you die of carbon monoxide poisoning, it's peaceful. You just fall asleep.
yeah, but
That's
I
true.
don't know
That's the way to
when
go.
in society fucked up when they're like, when the fucking battery runs out, it should be a continuous sound of hell, but the carbon monoxide alarm should just be 3 beautiful beeps each.
It
5
should be
minutes.
like a smoke alarm in an apartment.
It should, but apparently not. Apparently society thought, carbon monoxide, they'll be all right.
Maybe that's just Canada.
Carbon monoxide scares the fuck out of me. That's a fucking scary situation.
That's why I
Silent
need to
killer.
evacuate the house. I'm like, well, I could die. Gotta leave the house.
At least, yeah, but you just like sort of like pass out though.
I had a dog too. I didn't want the dog. Like, What a... Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. My dog is sick.
Oh, what does he?
We don't know. My mom called earlier today and said he wasn't doing very well. He just like, what she said is, whenever he starts to walk, it's like he's walking drunk.
Oh.
So it's not arthritis because we already got that checked. But I don't know. He's old. He needs a Labrador, like a, I don't know, purebred or whatever. But like they have health issues. So he's like 9 or 10, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's a long life.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
What? But let's move to a brighter side. Should we do? How much time do we have left, man?
We've been recording for an hour and 10 minutes.
Do you want to do questions like last week?
Why not? Let's do that again.
Okay.
Do we
So-
actually have questions from people?
No, we just ask each other until
Okay.
we find
I'll-
out.
I'll
What the
make up a
fuck?
thing where people, the 2 listeners we have, can send us questions.
Hey, we had 33 on the last one.
That's true.
That's more than 2.
We're gonna have to...
All right, question time. Question
I got
time.
one. What's the best prank you guys have ever done?
Oh fuck.
Greatest prank.
We'll do it like we did last week. Down the list. So Trevor,
Yeah.
Keller, me, and then Shua.
I don't prank.
What the fuck?
Have you ever one prank in your life though?
I'm sure, but I mean, nothing memorable.
Like, what about? Has anyone pulled a prank on you?
Nope.
Jesus, you're exciting.
Very exciting.
I do other stuff with my time.
What do you do, Trevor?
I waste it on video games.
There you go.
Have you
Yeah.
ever done a video game though? I've done it plenty of times.
Yes, I've got one. It kind of happened today.
Oh.
This involves a tolerance.
Well, here we
Yeah.
go. Time to tell the story.
I don't
Perfect
think I
time.
should.
Perfect time to tell it.
You might as well. I mean, they're gonna find out.
They'll
Do
find
it.
out
I don't
eventually.
want to. No.
All
Do
right,
it. That's your
We'll
job.
say it at the end, the last minute. We'll say what we did. But Keller, you say the greatest prank that you've ever pulled off.
Mine's sort of okay. There are 2. I don't really prank a whole lot either, but video game wise, it would definitely be during Minesweeper when Sam and I built a whole room to murder someone in a very elaborate way, and Harry managed to trip it and kill both him and Drew, and it was beautiful because the concept was like you fall into the hole. I don't know if anyone else was playing during that time that's here.
No.
I know Mania wasn't here at the time.
I was not in that game, but I
Okay.
was here.
I wasn't there either. I think. If it was
Okay,
Minesweeper.
there was a room that we made that when you fall into it, you land in a puddle and it's just tile, gold, and diamond. And there's a hallway, and at the end there's a block of lapis covered like behind some glass. And we had said if you manage to get the whole block of lapis back to the start, which is like impossible, you automatically win, regardless of your amount of points. But what we didn't say was that we had rigged the whole ceiling with a piston trap and filled it with like 8 stacks of lava, and then rigged it with tripwires. So if you walked into it, the door, like, you would be closed off on both ends of the hallway, and lava will pour down from the ceiling.
That's
So,
pretty great.
Drew lands in this room and is immediately like, oh shit, like, there's got to be a catch. Like, he was smarter. We knew he wasn't gonna, like, fall for it that easily. But then Harry comes in and just fucking sprints down the hallway right as Drew's about halfway through it. And then you just see the door shut and Drew starts typing in chat, Harry, and then you just hear Harry screaming on the TeamSpeak. And oh god, it's beautiful. I think it might be in Banjo's video. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he caught it either, but yeah, it was beautiful. As for real life, like I said, I don't really prank much, but I did tell my parents that I was gay one April Fool's Day, and that gave them a thing. What they didn't know was that I wasn't actually lying, but I told them I was. So it was like April Foolsception. But yeah, so that happened.
I feel like that's depending on your parents. That's the best or worst time to tell them.
Oh, for me, it'd be the worst. If I told
For
my
one of
dad.
them, yeah, but
All right. I have a gaming-related prank and a real-life-related prank, but the real-life-related prank makes me seem like an asshole.
Well,
But I'll do
maybe
it. I'll
that's
tell
because
it.
you're an
Come on,
asshole.
I'll tell
I'm
it
sorry,
anyway.
did you not already?
I'll tell it anyway. So, when I was in high school, me and my buddy created created fake Facebook accounts just to mess with people we hated at school. And
That's called cyberbullying.
no,
I'm
no,
pretty
no.
sure.
Just wait for me to finish. And there was this group of people at my high school who were like the tough football player kind of guys. They gave everybody else shit.
You mean the pic? Is that a picture you showed me of those tools?
Was
Yeah.
that video?
Yeah.
There's
That's
a
them.
picture if Manny wants to post it up at this time, but he might not.
And the video was basically that I posted a while ago. It was these football players in my high school who would give everybody shit, and their choice derogatory word they would call people was faggot, and that's what they'd call people.
Of course.
And that was their go-to insult. So, considering we decided, well, maybe these men are extremely homophobic. So what we did is we created these fake Facebook profiles and started flirting on them as dudes. And they got like really pissed off and defensive. Like, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. All this like tough guy stuff. It's like, hey man, I'm just being nice. It's like, yeah, well, fuck you. I'm gonna find out where you live, and just laughing about it because how just idiotic these people are. Fast forward a couple of years, and I do the same thing. This time, it's when Justin Bieber was super, super popular. Like when he first started, like his rise to fame, and all the girls were like, "Cut for Bieber," and girls were actually like cutting their wrists in support of Justin Bieber.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
That was
I
a
remember
thing.
that.
It started out as a prank on 4chan. And then the Beliebers caught wind of it, and they actually started doing it. Actually started cutting themselves for Justin Bieber
Oh.
and posting on Twitter. It was fucking pathetic. So I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be great. So I made a this makes me a dick, but I made a fake.
Were you not already?
I basically made a Justin Bieber Facebook account, and you could tell it's a fucking fake Facebook account if you have common sense. Like you could tell, you obviously know it's fake, and I went on to like a Justin Bieber like Facebook page. And he was getting a bunch of hate on it, and I was commenting on it like, "Hey, leave my fans alone," stuff like that, and girls were just like liking the fucking posts like crazy. It's like, do you guys realize this isn't real? And then I just kept getting like inbox messages saying, "Oh my god, Justin, it's you. Here's my phone number." It's like, oops, this went farther than I wanted it to, and
And then this brings out Manio's 9-step plan. Step 1, the Facebook. Step 2, he's gonna reconstruct his face into Justin Bieber. And step 3,
no, it didn't get to that extent. But basically, these people were like freaking out, and this one girl, I think she was like 18, and at the time I was like 19, 20, and I was like, oh man, this is funny. So she's like, oh my god, you're the real Justin Bieber. It's like, you're this stupid at 18? Jesus Christ. That was my thought in my head. I didn't say that. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, will you go out with me? And I'm like, oh fuck. So I messaged my buddy, who told me to do the prank, and he didn't expect it to get this far. And I'm like, so this just happened. And he's like, man, you have to say yes. It's like, no, I don't. He's like, do it. So I did it. And then she changed her Facebook like relationship status, and it said in a relationship with Justin Bieber.
Oh god.
and then she's like posting about like, oh my god, I'm dating Justin Bieber. It was like just freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, well, this is enough, and I deleted the account. That's the real life sort of prank that I pulled.
God.
That's horrible. My friends laugh. My friends laugh about it. They think it's fucking hilarious.
But even
Did you
like,
go see if that girl's still alive?
Well, she lived in like fucking Jamaica or something. So I have no way of knowing.
You have
You
no
have
way knowing.
Facebook.
Yeah, I don't remember who her name
One
was.
day, man, she's gonna come to your door and just be like, Justin Bieber? And then,
No.
You live in this shitty apartment now?
and
Get the
then
fuck
that's
out.
the end of the 9-step plan.
And then video game prank is just me being an asshole when I would play like Halo. When I play Halo with my friends, like I build Minecraft Let's Plays. as people know. And then when we'd play Halo back in the day with my friends, I would build like the Halo games we'd play with Forge. And I remember I made one in Halo Reach that was totally in my favor, so I would win no matter what. And it was a oddball mode, and everybody had energy swords, and whoever committed suicide would get a point, but they would get like 400% speed and like 0% gravity, so they'd fucking float everywhere, and they could jump really high, and like they're really fucking fast. And my friends were like, man, I'm not getting any points for killing people, and you'd only get points for suicides. So no, it wasn't like that. Kill yourself to get a suicide, and then you get like all these like super abilities, and they're like getting points, and then they see this blur running around the map, like, what the fuck was that? And I kill them, and they're starting to get really mad, like, man, I want that super speed, and I wasn't telling them how you could get it. It was pretty great. They got really, really mad at me, and they stopped playing Halo with me after that. And then I resorted to building Minecraft Let's Plays now.
And now
Which
here
part
we
of
are.
these things is prove you're not a dick?
The 9-step plan.
I said,
Telling you.
I
The
said,
tennis system.
I said,
The dentist system.
Oh, I want to. What's the Manio system? What is-
step one.
No.
Make
well, the
a
dentist
Facebook
system.
profile.
Have you
So,
seen the
make a
dentist
fake
system,
profile.
man?
Ask us out.
No.
Ask
And
people
it's
out.
a-
Neglect.
Wait, no, he hasn't seen the dentist system. Before we
Okay,
go
so
forward
the
with this
dentist
joke,
system. But
Mania
let's just
needs to actually see the episode.
let's just talk about this then. The Manio system. Trevor has something going. Step one is
Step one, make a fake Facebook profile.
yes.
Step
Step
two,
two.
Act gay.
I was going to say assume someone else's identity.
Yeah.
could also
Step
do that.
three,
A famous
is
celebrity.
Famous celebrity. Same thing.
Yeah.
Still assuming an identity.
Yep.
Step 3 is N. I want to say neglect fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I is encourage sexual behavior.
Encourage.
Encourage. Sorry, I
Is
say
that
it weird.
E though?
And then O is it is encourage. It's
Well, no, screw it.
oh.
It's I.
Yeah.
I spell it wrong.
Influence. Influence.
Oh,
Influence.
Influence sexual behavior.
Yeah, sure.
And
Then
then
O is just orgy.
Yes.
And
That's
that
the
is
Manio.
Manio system. We have
Alright.
something going. We're gonna have to
All
try
right,
this
Shua.
out.
What about you? Your pranks.
For the real life prank, I convinced someone that my friend owned a puma, and this lasted for a year. So, it wasn't the best prank, but I just told him straight up, yeah, my friend has a puma, and he completely believed me to the point where I brought him to a zoo and I said, that's my friend's puma, and he completely believed it, and he tried to ask the zookeeper to go in to the puma thing and say, hey, can I get in? My friend owns it. Come on,
Oh,
my friend
God.
owns it. And I'm just like, I walked away. And yeah, I don't prank much either, but that's my best real life one. It lasted
That's
a long
ridiculous.
time. But for the game one, I convinced someone, I made a fake account and I convinced someone that he was banned from Xbox Live. And so I just made an account called like Xbox Live Services, and I just saw you've been banned for swearing. You should get off immediately before you were permabanned, and he wasn't on for 2 weeks. And I guess that's it for
That's
pranks.
kind of a dick move.
I don't know if you want to keep on going with
Basically,
questions.
we're all giant fucking nerds.
We're all assholes.
Yeah.
We're all nerdy assholes.
No, I think we should end it there. It's 11:53. We've gone
Yeah.
20 minutes over time.
Yeah, I guess. Tomorrow is there a video coming out tomorrow other than the podcast, obviously? But is there going to be 2 videos?
If someone
think
wants there to
just
be
that.
2 videos.
I know Wednesday's Raisin
No, I
Mania,
think just one.
hopefully. Then
I think it should just be the one.
I don't know what's going on
Just-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fair
Podcast
enough.
Coming out. Wednesday's Raisin Mania. Friday, should we do the return of Project Zomboid?
If we can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I owned it.
And remember, kids, stay tolerable.